Four-time major champion Brooks Koepka right here with Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Last weekend, you were going for a U.S. Open three-peat, something that hasn't been done since the early 1900s before ultimately finishing second to Gary Woodland. How much were you thinking about history during that tournament? Can you talk about that for a second?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about history. I've heard, I've always thought about it, I'll think about everything when I'm done, when I retire. In the moment, you're so focused on what you got to do and what you need to accomplish that it's another tournament. I'm just trying to go out there and go win. But on 18 green, it kind of sank in how close I was to getting it done, which was it was a cool feeling. A little disappointed, but second place. Sometimes you just run into a buzzsaw in golf.
Wait, listen, you finished first or second in all three majors this season, so clearly you want to, obviously you're number one in the world for a reason, but when you talk about being number one in the world, I guess what I'm thinking about is, to some people in the respective sports that I cover, there could be a lot of pressure that comes along with that. Doesn't appear to be the case with you. Talk about that a little bit. Just having that cachet, having that status as we speak, and how, if at all, it has affected your game.
I think when I first became number one about 6 months ago over in Korea, all I wanted to do was just keep that title. Number one in the world, that's all I was focused on. I wasn't focusing on results, just going out there and playing good. I was focused on, all right, what do I got to do just to keep it? And now it's more of a, hey, just go out and go play. If you go play well, you're still going to keep number one. You go win, and nobody can stop you there.
I listen to you and I've watched you do some interviews, and obviously you're not shy about your confidence. You're not shy about how you feel. You're not cocky like some people I know. I won't mention who they are, like me. Okay, you're not cocky, but definitely you're very, very confident and you're unapologetic about it. Where does that come from? And more importantly, do you think that's what golf needs? Because I love your personality for the game, and I don't think people talk about that nearly as much as they should.
Yeah, it's interesting. We spend so much time on social media, and you hear, like I follow the NBA all the time. So, and I've watched the interviews those guys in the NBA do, and you're talking like how confident they are, and they come out, they're like, I know I'm going to win. This is who I am. You watch Kevin Durant, you watch LeBron James, you watch the interviews they do, and it's they're not trying to be anybody they're not. They own who they are. You can see it more with Kevin Durant over the last couple of years. He's kind of come into his own, and it's cool to see. And that's kind of the approach I kind of have to it. Hey, I'm just gonna say how I feel, what's going on with me at the time, and not hold back. And I think it's kind of helped. People kind of they view me now as what they get off the golf course. Because on the golf course, I got that serious look, I got whatever. There's no emotion, but off the golf course, completely different.
It's interesting because when I think about golf, you almost get the impression that they encourage something totally different than what your personality has displayed. And at least in the past, decorum, they say decorum, golf etiquette, et cetera, et cetera. And people look at those kind of things and they'll take it off the court and they think there's a certain way that you're supposed to act. There's a certain way that you're supposed to be. And you don't seem to pay attention to any of that at all. I'm wondering how receptive the world of golf has been to that, because to me, I view you as a breath of fresh air. What do you say to all of that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to be me. I've noticed over the last few years, I've just become a lot happier. I don't feel like I've got to hide anything. I don't feel like I've got to be somebody I'm not. And I'm just way more comfortable in my own skin. And I think that's, hopefully people see that. Hopefully people are starting to realize, hey, I am who I am, and I'm not going to be somebody else just because I think it's going to get me more fans, or I think I'm going to be more popular off the golf course. That's not what I'm trying. I just want to be myself, and people to be able to see that.
How much do you believe that Tiger Woods may have helped that? Because obviously he was a bit different when he came along than traditional golfers were perceived as being, at the very least. How much do you think he's helped basically, pave a path for guys like yourself and others to follow?
I don't even think there's words for what he's done to our sport. You look at how Tiger moved the sport to being the athleticism you see now in guys. You look at guys from, Gary last week to, myself, Dustin, anybody, these kids that are coming out, they're 21, 22 years old, and it looks like every one of them could play another sport if they wanted to. They look like they could go play baseball. You're starting to see, it's in every sport, you're starting to see they're bigger, stronger, faster. It's just simple. And Tiger he made golf cool. He made golf cool for kids my age. When I was growing up at like 10 watching him, 99, I was like 9 years old.
Right.
And, golf wasn't exactly cool, a cool sport to play. Nobody was really playing it. And or for sports fans, like me, I wanted to watch baseball, basketball, football.
Right.
And Tiger made it cool to go out and go play golf.
You battled with Tiger at the Masters. You appeared with him at the PGA. What were those experiences like? Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, it's different. Anytime you can be in a group with Tiger, it's going to be very loud. They're all going to be cheering for him. It's fun. Who doesn't want to play with the best ever to play the game? I mean,
right.
That's what you want to do. You want to go up against the best, and there's nothing better, especially like at Augusta. You go down the final couple holes, and you're trying to duke it out with him, and he just got the better of me. And then last year the PGA, I got the better of him, and that's what we want. I thought it was awesome when he sent me a text. He said we're 1-1 after Augusta. I thought that was pretty cool.
Wow, you're ranked #1 in the world right now. Where do you, at #1 in the world, believe you compare? How comparable are you to Tiger in Tiger's prime?
I don't know, man. That's it's different. It's such a different game from when he was playing until now. It's hard to say. You look at the guys he was playing against. VJ, Ernie, Phil. These guys are so good, and they're legends now. You see them on the range, and you're looking at them, you're like, man, those are the guys I looked up to. But it's hard to say. Now there's 15 guys I feel like you could put in that great category. It's who's going to come out of that to be one of the some of the greatest to ever play in our generation. So it's tough. At the end of the day, it all comes down to who's got the most wins and who's got the most majors.